I had one of the experiences that I will never forget as long as I live. During the summer, when we were selling season tickets, we used to show people around the seats that were available. And I'd just shown a couple round one of the seats in one of the stands. And I was standing in the tunnel. And he came down from the terrace, came along the track, and he said, Mark, will you go and get me a ball? So I went down to the boot room, get a ball, threw it on the pitch. I thought, well, that's it then. And then he said, get yourself in goal. So I'm all suited, like three-piece suit and everything on. I trotted towards the Roker end, and Brian Clough proceeded to shoot footballs into the back of the net like Exocet missiles. I mean, I didn't even see a ball, never mind save one. And stadium completely and utterly deserted.
Wow.
And they've been doing that for about 10 minutes, quarter of an hour. And all of a sudden, there's this voice, it was Bramley, that came from the tunnel. And it was George Crowe, who was the secretary, who was my boss.
Right.
Quite a fearsome character. Get yourself in here. Get yourself back to the office. I don't pay you to play football with the likes of him. The likes of him being the fact that the directors were wanting to try and get Brian to finish completely because they wanted the insurance money.
Right.
So I looked at Brian and I said, what do I do? And he said, tell him to F off. So
and that's your boss.
Yeah. So I thought about it for a couple of minutes, and I thought it was probably not the wisest thing to do.
No.
So I went back up to the office and I got a big telling off. But what was interesting was it must have been about 2 or 3 months later when I was in his office. He said, remember when I told you to come in when you were playing football with Brian Clough? I said, yes, Mr. Crowe. He said, you know what, if I'd have been in your shoes, I would have stayed out there as long as I possibly could, because you will never, ever forget that moment. And he was right. And yes. The one regret I have is that there wasn't a camera to take a picture of it, because it would have looked so strange. Brian in just his shorts, no top, me in a three-piece suit, having balls battered at me in the Roker end. So
wow.
Something never to be forgotten.
Hello, it's Simon Clough here. This is the Green Jumper podcast with Marcus Alton.
Yes, that extract is taken from the Green Jumper podcast, and you'll find more great stories in the podcast's back catalogue on all major platforms and on brianclough.com.